Hey, what's going on, everyone? Justin here, and in this video I want to share the 8 books that I picked up in the month of October. It's going to be a little bit weird for my channel in the sense that they're all new books, no used books, which is, like I said, that's just kind of odd, actually, for me. But that's because they're all from the same place, which was the Princeton University Press fall sale. They're by far and away my favorite press. They're really cool. They've sent me lots of stuff as well. But usually they have a big sale for Valentine's Day, which I think is pretty interesting. But they also had a fall one this year, and they had a big selection of titles. I think were 70 or 75% off, something like that. So especially with the nature titles, I just like couldn't help myself and got quite a few. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first 3 here are part of a set known as their Pedia series, and we got Geopedia. This one is by Marcia Bjornerud. Dinopedia by Darren Nash, and Insectopedia. This one is by Eric Eaton. I think I have another one of his books on wasps as well. But I find these really interesting. I actually already have 3 others that I've read. Birdpedia, Treepedia, and Florapedia. I think together, like on the shelf, I want to say there's probably about a dozen at this point. I just think they look really nice. They're encyclopedias in the sense that they're just kind of like encyclopedia entries is pretty much what the books are, like kind of consist of, but they're obviously not comprehensive, you know, when they're in these like small like little cloth hardcovers and everything, but kind of almost just more like what the author is sort of interested in, kind of just like, you know, different things that they want to share. Lots of trivia, lots of like history and the science, and just kind of little tidbits and like neat things to learn about. Let's just like flip through a couple here, just to see like what we got in here. So we got, let's see, Malfingian tubes, mantid flies, louse flies, kissing bugs, insect fear, film festival, excuse me, hummingbird moths, honeydew, Jean Henri Faber. So like you get a whole bunch of just like random stuff. It could be like scientists, it could be like, you know, organisms in that category, or I guess in the sense of like Geopedia, I guess it's not really, it's more natural history than I guess like biology per se. But like I said, I found the ones that I've read so far really interesting. Obviously, they're not, like I said, comprehensive or anything like that, but I think they're just a lot of fun. I think they would make like great gifts too for someone who's just kind of like enjoys like a certain topic, you know, like either insects or birds or something like that as well. But I plan on like just collecting the whole series now that I'm like halfway there at this point in time for sure. All right, next up we have a couple of like kind of history-ish books. So first up we got The Lost History of Liberalism from Ancient Rome to the 21st Century by Helena Rosenblatt. And I picked this one up. I feel like I should read a little bit more politics. I've been trying to, I guess, I don't know even what right way to put it, like involve politics in my life a little bit more, be more like attuned and stuff. I don't know. And this one just like looked really interesting because I guess I always thought like kind of our modern day politics is just so far and away different than really anything from like too far in the past that you really couldn't like draw like kind of like, you know, like a tracing line, you know, evolution, you know, like evolutionary speaking or anything like that. I just thought they were like too distinct. So I think it's gonna be kind of interesting reading about from like, you know, ancient Rome to like the current time period. So I don't really know what it's going to be about per se. I mean, obviously, like, concept of liberalism and everything like that. I think it'll be kind of interesting learning about how, like, liberalism, I think, like, you know, in the early 20th century, that was kind of like a pejorative, like, kind of term and everything. And stuff like that, and how it's kind of changed and whatnot. The only thing I really knew about, like, liberalism as far as, like, a historical perspective is there's supposed to be some sort of, like English American thing where like, you know, we're like the only ones that came up with the concept of liberalism, which to me like never really made sense. So it'll be interesting to hear you know, just like all the other perspectives from the past and contemporary stuff around the world and everything like that. But like I said, I don't really know too much about it, but I think I'm gonna read this along with like a biography of Edmund Burke that I still have to get to for like the conservative aspect of things as far as like historical political stances and everything. So it might be a little bit interesting for sure. Next up I guess this isn't really history per se, but it's Now Comes Good Sailing. Writers reflect on Henry David Thoreau, and it's basically just like a compilation of like 20 different essays on different like writers and stuff, and why they like Henry David Thoreau. So I feel like this is just gonna be like kind of a pick-me-up, feel-good book, because like a lot of people, a lot of nature readers, nature writers and stuff, just love Thoreau, like, you know, the transcendental movement in the 1800s, with him and like Ralph Waldo Emerson, for example. Let's see, on the back it says, "And Now Comes Good Sailing, writers offer wide-ranging original pieces exploring how Thoreau has influenced and inspired them, and why he matters more than ever in an age of climate, racial, and technological reckoning. The result is a lively and compelling collection that richly demonstrates the countless ways Thoreau continues to move, challenge, and provoke readers." So, like I said, 27 different essays. So, like I said, it's gonna be pretty interesting. I didn't recognize very many of the authors here. I don't know if they're like kind of more like journalists kind of writers or something. Maybe I think there's only like 2 that I even remotely like heard of, but I'm still gonna enjoy it, I'm pretty sure. The only problem is usually like with essay collections, I found like, you know, some are a lot stronger or weaker than others, but I've read a couple, I think, so far this year, maybe like 1 or 2 last year, so it's definitely like kind of a genre I've been trying out a little bit more. And then lastly, for like a real history, I guess we got A History of Biology by Michel Morange. And yeah, I felt like this is like the perfect title for like a blending of Historathon and my science reading challenge. A literal, just kind of front to back history of the discipline of biology. Don't know if there's too much to say other than that, but biology is definitely my favorite topic to read about. I have my like nature collection of books over here dealing with like, you know, zoology or botany or ecology and conservation and all that kind of stuff. Obviously biology plays a big role in all of those kinds of things, so I'm definitely looking forward to it and kind of getting like just a nice broad overview of, you know, the subject, and like I said, discipline of biology. It's been quite a while since I studied biology and genetics and taxonomy and stuff in college too, so, and I never did take like a kind of like historical like survey course over science or anything like that, so I think it's gonna be really cool, like just kind of reading about how it's changed from, I assume it's going to start around like the ancient Greek period and kind of just like move its way forward to contemporary times, so that'll be really cool. And then lastly, 2 more books to add to another series that I have in the nature realm. We have The Lives of Moths and The Lives of Fungi. Let's see, Fungi is by Britt Bunyard, and let's see, Moths is by 2 authors. We got Andrei Surikov and Rachel Warren Chad, and I love these books. These are probably my favorite nature series at this point. I've read a beetle one, and I've started 2 others, the lichens and octopuses, and these are just going to be super fantastic on the shelves as well. Like just really awesome, looks great together. Like I said, just can't really go wrong with them. So let's just like flip through a little bit. It does use like technical jargon and stuff, but it's broken down really nice and easy. There's plenty. Every spread has like tons of either photographs or illustrations, diagrams, charts, everything like that. All of them also have at the end of every chapter, there's like 6 or 7 like species profiles on like whatever organism is being discussed and whatnot. And I just find them fascinating, find them really cool. Like, I don't know, there's just something about like, they're just super high quality. Like I said, you can just like see how just really cool everything is. I've been like thoroughly enjoying them, and I plan on getting like this whole set as well. And actually, Princeton University Press was kind enough to send me the lichen one a couple of months ago, so we will be like talking about that one at some point in the future as well. But like, as you can see, like I said, species profiles, as well as like kind of different things on like their anatomy, biology, like life history, different things like that. You know, how they like, I guess in like fungi, it's gonna be a lot of like, you know, on how they break down foods and different kinds of things and all kinds of stuff. So really, really cool, really high quality photographs. Just really love it. I don't know, not much else to say, but just how really cool they are. I'm glad to add to that collection there. They got other ones too. I think there's spiders, bees, sharks, viruses. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head that I still haven't got to, but plan on reading like all of these. Like I said, just a really good kind of like I don't know, maybe not a feel-good read per se, but just a really enjoyable, relaxing, like, reading experience. If you like any of these kinds of like organisms, if you do, definitely check it out. So there you have it. Those are the books that I picked up in the Princeton University Press sale. Like I said, just really glad to add to some of my nature collections, especially there. Really cool. Keep an eye out if you like this kind of stuff, because they do sales apparently periodically, not just the really big Valentine's one. But this wasn't sponsored by Princeton University Press. But if you're watching, you know, hit me up some more and whatnot. But let me know what your favorite book that you picked up last month was. I'm always on the lookout for good recommendations and everything like that. But whatever you end up reading, whether it's from October or not, read victoriously.